the entrepreneur in you, as you were describing earlier, what did that help in your when you became a brand and people were people were following you for you? What made you create Kineto instead of Final Boss Apparel?
Yeah, a couple things. One, started Kineto before we even started doing like that franchising. And then also I just noticed as an opportunity, had a high school friend that was already doing stuff in the clothing industry. And I was like, all right, like every other vertical out there has some sort of supporting clothing line, you know, and generally the ones that like do something that is cool or impactful to the industry, or some that are just even there first are the ones that have really succeeded. And so I kind of looked at it, I was like, all right, I want this to be a brand that's like comfortable, cool clothes you can sit around and game in, and then if you go out like your friends, your girlfriend, or go hang out somewhere, like they're cool to wear too. And so that was kind of like the vision for it. We succeeded in some ways for it, then other ways, honestly, just kind of like a learning experience or misexecuted. Like I don't think that you know, even like the name itself didn't you know, wasn't phonetic. It should have been a much more understandable name. We didn't do anything as impactful in the gaming industry. Like when you look at something like, let's say Hurley, like, you know, maybe helped make new bindings for skateboards, or like Volcom or Quicksilver helping define how different surfboards should be created. So we didn't do as much on the direct impact on gaming, you know, like helping develop a new controller or headset. So that would have been the bigger way. And then I also didn't have the ideal business partner style setup. In short, embezzlement happened, and you know, shit happens.
What do you mean embezzlement happened?
My old business partner embezzled a lot of money and filed for bankruptcy. And
oh man,
so but even besides that, like I could just try to look at that and be like, that's why we failed. It wasn't the only reason why we failed. Like there were so many other things that like we didn't do correct.
Yeah, but how could you, right? Like this isn't something that's taught in school. This isn't something that you could have researched on YouTube at the time, or researched. Like the access wasn't there, which is why I implore everybody that watches this podcast to just give yourself a shot and just do the research and give it a shot. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you're always going to regret that you didn't. And if you did and you failed, it's like at least you tried. You know what I mean?
And
like,
you can try for like very reasonable you know, investments now. Like back then, you know, I had to put a 6-figure amount into Kineto and get that going. Whereas now, like you can start up something and just order a few dozen T-shirts on an online site, get them printed, and like, you know, not have to do like you don't have to make a massive margin on your first sales as you're testing out a new idea. I would definitely recommend people to read something like The Lean Startup as they're looking to start a new business. It's like, oh wow, like I could start an app, or I could start a business in that fashion, and you don't have to like build the scaler off the bat, because as you're figuring out the product or the idea, like you need to solve that first. That's the first and foremost important piece.